that's what I've noticed, at least in my life. It's like they have come at a time when I have needed their mentorship or their support or, you know, their guidance or whatever. So.
Yeah, so true. That's good things.
Yeah.
So one thing that I love about you have such a great art style and a great, you are so, I love Asia's work. I mean, I'm sure you guys have all seen it, but she just has such a beautiful, like, painterly and a wonderful art style that I love. So how do you stay inspired? Like, do you ever go through kind of slumps or like, oh, I don't know what to draw or I don't know what to do? So what kind of advice would you give to someone that's trying to find their style or find how to be in, you know, what to paint or what to do when they're feeling
sure. I think one of the things that I would say, if you're still trying to find your style, try it all. Try all the styles. Go out there and try to mimic somebody or try to mimic, not that you're like copying their work, but trying to figure out how it is that they're creating the way that they're creating. And the more little places that you can be like, oh, I want to try that, or I want to try this, it really does get to the point, at least this is what I have found in my career, my design anyway, is that I've tried a bunch of stuff and then I have found the things that I love the most. And it's not that I'm copying this person or copying this person. It's, oh, I like how they do this. I like that technique that they're using over here. And then I've noticed that the more that I just do my regular stuff when I am drawing, then I paint or I draw a certain way or I use a certain style. I actually love texture. So I use a lot of texture brushes in my illustrations when I'm not creating SVGs and that type of flat work. So that's one of my things is just try it all. And you know, when you get to a slump, the other thing I would say is go look at inspirational things. Either get out in nature, go to the library, look at, you know, design books or wallpaper books, or, you know, go to a museum, go somewhere that's going to inspire you or make you want to design. Because we all get in those creative slumps where we're just like, I don't even know what to draw. I don't even know where to go from here. But if you can go to places that inspire you and really lift you up and make you want to design, that's going to really help boost that slump, get you out of that slump and bring you out of that.
I love that. And I think sometimes we just got to do art just to do art and not think of how am I going to sell this. Like, just do it just to explore sometimes. We go, sometimes I get too caught up in, oh, how do I make this sell or what do I do? And sometimes I just need to do art just to kind of feel that freedom, and then it'll inspire something else that I'll be able to do.
It's so true. So, that is so true.
But awesome. So now we're switching gears again. So Asia's now in the hot seat, or Carina is actually.
Yeah, Asia's in the hot seat. This is not going to be useful to me. It says nothing that I need. Actually, I'm going to read all of my notes.
All right, my first question for you is probably one that a lot of us are wondering. How did Design Suite even come about? Like, why did you even think of Design Suite?
Do you guys want the short version or the long version? Well, the medium version. How about that? The medium version is that, so you guys know I taught at the University of Minnesota. Then I started my businesses. I ran my businesses for 13 years, and I was feeling like, not that I had conquered design, but like I was doing really well. Like, I don't think I even realized how well I had done. I had been the creative director of Cartabella. I was in multiple platforms. I had a couple of different contracts. I had done like dishware for Deseret Books. So I had done like a lot of things. And you guys know I made pretty good money, right? My husband's an attorney, and I was making more than double his income is what I'm gonna say. But like it was like what is happening here, right? And I kind of found myself ready to go back to those education roots, and I was like, I wonder if I can teach other people to make the kind of money I make in design, because we know this, like this whole starving artist theory, like, oh, if you're an artist, you can't make money. And I was like, I just think that people don't know how to do the right activities. And if I could just tell them, like, these are the activities that you need to do, this is how you make money from your art, then I could do something big. Because I liked what I did. I mean, still love designing. That's the main thing I love to do. In fact, most of you guys have heard me grump that I don't have enough time to design. But I was like, I was kind of feeling a little bit called to teach again and kind of share some of the things I knew. So I actually experimented. I just did one, like the Silhouette Designer Masterclass, you guys, which got replaced by this new university class I built. It used to be the very first class that I built, and I opened up a Facebook group. That's where I did it, and I did it for like 4 weeks or 6 weeks, and I had the class, and then I just taught the class, and that's all I did. And it went really well. I think I was scared. I was scared to tell people what to do, because I was like, what if I tell them something, they do it wrong, and then they blame me, and then I'm gonna be upset, and like all the things you guys feel about just the judgment of other people. Like I feel it. I'm a regular human being, but it worked, and people really liked it, and they said, are you gonna teach any more classes, and will you teach me what you're doing? So I did that probably for about a little bit over a year. And then I joined a mastermind. And in that mastermind, I went to them and I said, I have these 6 different classes I've taught. They've gone really well. I feel like they're going awesome, but I have no idea how to get more customers. I don't know how to get people to learn about this. And so in that mastermind, I kind of figured out my way of telling people to come see me, which you guys all know is a design boot camp. That's how people come into my program. And what I did was I brought together everything. I brought together every class that I had taught. Sorry, my daughter just walked in the door, and it's my daughter that goes to BYU, so she is 40 minutes away, so I'm confused. But anyway, I brought together all those courses, plus then I, at the same time, was like, I'll build a business class, and I'll put them together, and we'll just do a program with it. Like, everybody will have all of these courses, and they'll just learn. And we started it out as a 6-month program, and I had, I think, 20 people sign up the first week that I did it, and I was blown away. I was like, I had no idea so many people wanted something like this. And so that's how it started. We're almost at our 4-year mark, like official 4-year mark in April of doing this. And we have taught thousands of people in boot camp and hundreds of people in Design Suite. And just seeing everybody's success, that probably meant the most to me. Like, I get emails at the end of people's programs saying this like changed my life in more ways than one. I thought I was building a design program, and like people will say like, I became a good designer, but like you changed my life in this way, in this way, in this way. And that, like, I'm gonna cry. That was like why I was like, this is what I've got to do with my life. And then why we started the university on top of it, because it felt meaningful.
And she has changed many a life, as Charlotte and all of us here can attest to. So Carina's really the best.
You're so nice.
All right, second question is, let's get strategic.
You guys know I like some strategy.
What would you suggest when it comes to pricing your products?
Okay, you guys, I feel like
we got some hearts.
Yeah, I was gonna say, okay, you guys, pricing strategies, okay? Okay, so the first thing is, sometimes people will just be like, if you want to make more money, just raise your prices. That doesn't work in our industry the way it does in others. So like, if you have a digital business that's like courses or something, you can change your pricing. If you are here in Design Suite, we will always tell you to go with market value pricing, okay? So if you're in SVGs, most SVGs are 99 cents. 3D is $1.99 to $2.99, right? So depending on where you're at, you need to be in market value with that pricing. Now, there are some strategies around that. So depending on the platform you're on, if you can up-level that price, right, and then give a discount for a certain amount of time, then you're showing that it's of that value at that moment, okay? So for example, and I think I worked with somebody, I can't remember who I worked with this, like a couple weeks ago. One of you guys I don't remember who. I was like, can you please put your price up at $7 or $8? Then we discount it 70% or whatever, and then it's showing that it's $1.99. That's one really great pricing strategy. Many of you don't have the option of pricing strategies, right? But like, especially if you're on a platform that has really set pricing, that's okay, right? So you don't have to worry about that. Instead, you need to think about the strategy that goes with that platform. What are upsells that you can give or ways to get those people onto your newsletter list to make sure that you can upsell them in another way, okay? So that's the first thing. The second thing is there's a big difference between commercial and personal use licenses, okay? So those of you who are on a platform that offers a commercial use license, you don't have a choice on the pricing. But there are plenty of websites out there that only do commercial use, or you can upsell into a commercial use. So we need to look at that. The general rule of thumb is 3 times the cost of the original product, okay? So if you have a $1.99 product, a good rule of thumb is $6 to $8 is the commercial use license, depending on the way you've built your terms of use. And by the way, if you're not putting a terms of use, you guys all have access to a terms of use in the workflow and production class, okay? So I have a template in there for you guys. You need to go grab it and go put your information in it, because you want people to know with your products that it's a personal use or commercial use products. I'm on a website where we only do commercial use. I'm on lots of websites where we only do personal. And then I'm on websites where you don't get to choose. Like, they've already set everything out for you, okay? So depending on the platform you're on, you're gonna wanna pay attention to that. But hopefully that should help you guys with pricing strategies. Don't get crazy. I will tell you when I've gotten crazy. And this is when you're allowed to get crazy, okay? I have an ultimate gingerbread project, right? That is priced at $24.99. That is crazy for an SVG, okay? People buy it at that price. Why? Because it's a crazy project, okay? So when you are out of the standard, like you have an outlier project, you can behave in that project different than you do for everything else. But you also can do crazy things like, here's another example. If you go on my website, you can buy an SVG ebook for me for $9.99 or $14.99. Individually, those projects, we sell them individually for $1.99 to $3.99. So it's more expensive to buy them all separately, but if you buy them in an ebook format, we make a better price on it because we get a better like overall cost on it, but you get a better price by getting all the individuals. So it's all about the strategic way you build your products and put them out in front of the world. It's just bundling, guys. It's bundling.
I love it.
Did I give enough pricing?
Yes,
strategy?
I think that was awesome. I even learned something there.
Oh.
Something I don't know that I've ever heard you. The 3 times for the commercial use.
Oh yeah, that's the general standard. I like it's always 3 times, so a $2 product, $6, but I almost always bump it up to 8. Just 8 seems like a good price, especially if you're really gonna make 500 pieces out of my item.
Yeah, it
So.
makes sense. Awesome. Okay, and then I have it. If you could give, since we all said what we would do, like our advice, all the coaches, I want to know what Carina's biggest advice would be to everybody when they're just starting, or even now.
Oh gosh. Okay, so something we saw early in the program. So you guys some of you are like 6 months in, some of you guys are a year in, some of you are 18 months in, some of you are literally getting started right now. There is, this is not advice, but I'm gonna tell you this, and then I'm gonna give you my advice, okay? What we see, especially in design, but we see this in all businesses everywhere, but like specifically in our design program, that there is, at the beginning of your program, a real motivation to get things done because you're so excited. Like there's just, it's like so fun, right?
Yeah.
So for about 3 months, you're rocking and rolling. You're rocking and rolling. It's hard. You're learning software. You're learning business. You're learning all the things. You're making friends. You've got community. There's like all these things. But like around 3 months, we call it like the slump. It's like you've been working so hard, but the motivation has run out and it feels hard and you just don't want to do the work, or you want to take a really long break, okay? This is where my advice comes in. You have to remind yourself that building a business, any kind of business, but especially a design business, is a long game, okay? And I've just been saying it in our most recent boot camp. This is a long game. If you wanted a get rich fast scheme, like design is not the place for it. You're here for a lifestyle change, right? You're here for a transformation. So if you're here for a transformation, then you can kind of get through those slumps. But what I'm going to tell you, and the advice I'm going to give you, is that when there feels like there's a dip and it feels really, really hard, you have to remember why you're going to do this. Like, what is your big why? If it's to make more money, that's an important why. We all have to feed our families, right? If the why is because you just need that kind of creativity and transformation in your life, you have to remember it and maybe go, like they were talking about, like go to a museum, go somewhere to like get that, like that feeling back, right? Or if you're in Design Suite, you get that feeling back by getting on Marco Polo and talking to everyone to get yourself back there, right? I will say it over and over and over again. Consistency is how we win in business. Consistency in whatever it is you're doing. Consistency in the design work, consistency in the marketing, consistency in showing up, right? Like the reason you guys trust me is because you know I'm going to show up for you, right? What if I was like, just not feeling like teaching Design Suite today? Not going to happen, right? If you guys knew how much time it took to really dig into the courses and the things that the team is doing in order to make sure you guys are having an amazing experience and that you are feeling those transformations, like you have to be committed. You have to have a strong enough why to do it. Yeah. And I will tell you, my why is really strong. Like, I want to leave legacy. This is why we started the university. I want to teach artists and designers to get to that next level. I'm so sick of the starving artist situation. Yeah. There's no good reason for it. And if you're just learning software, you're just learning how to make art, then you are going to be in a situation where you're just the starving artist. You're like, how do I make money? And so being able to teach people how to make money has been incredible. Like, it makes me so happy. Yeah. Should we bring everybody else back? Yeah. Let's ask a couple of last follow-up questions, and then we'll end. And I don't know if you guys know this, but we're on YouTube Live too. So those of you guys that are coming into YouTube Live, what you're really seeing is we're actually doing this for Design Suite Mastermind. And actually Creative has joined us. I think you can put it right there, Sarah, and you should be good. Sarah is our everything person right now. And we kind of started this, I'm just gonna tuck right up here with you, Julie. Oh yes. Can you guys squish more?
Let me snuggle up with you, Asia.
We're just gonna
so those of you on YouTube Live, what you're seeing is what we've been talking to Design Suite Mastermind about, and kind of started with a few different questions. So first of all, I would love to answer any questions in Design Suite. So if you guys have questions, Sarah is going to shout those out to us. So put those in the chat if you have any questions. You can ask a specific coach a question. These guys told you a little bit about their stories, but like honestly, when they came into Design Suite, one of the coolest things is like they really listened. You know, like you guys know I say the same thing. So stay in your lane, focus, build great habits. You know, I'm telling you guys the same things over and over again, and these guys did it. But furthermore, whenever something was trending, someone would jump on it. Remember Shara jumping into tumblers? Like that was hot for 1 second, and you like started really making some money. Like the thing is that design changes so much. This is why we love it when you guys are in the program, because like every segment of the way, we got a great deal with Sawgrass. Several of you guys got Sawgrass deals, right? Design Suite Agency, for a while, we had so many businesses asking for work. We had Ashley, who did a huge mural, project. Remember when I got you out of a certain field? It took me
yes, it did.
It took me a few months to convince you to get out of it. Right? Like, like the thing about being with a group is you kind of start seeing your next steps for what you need to do. I feel like for you, it's the physical business stuff. I was like, it's time to get out, Julie.
I know. And I was dragging my feet, I don't know. And then I finally listened, and it's better. So just listen to Carina. She knows what she's talking about.
Yeah. Same with you. I think the amount of time and money that, like, cause you guys, like, you get so set on the thing, and you're like, it's making, like, the thing was making $400 a month.
Yeah.
She didn't even realize that $400 a month would be very much better. You make a lot more now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna say how much, but she makes a lot more now. Okay, and it was literally because I was like, stop doing that thing. Like, stop doing it. Just go put your efforts over here. It made such a huge difference.
It did. It was quite the eye-opening experience when I finally did decide and let that piece go, because it was like that security blanket. I'm like, I know that I'm making that here. And so it was hard to make that leap. But once I did, when listened to Carina to move over to this other area, I'm making way more than that now. So it's great.
Well, and then your seasonal business is killing it.
Yeah.
Like, just killing it. So I think the thing that I always tell everybody is that business is granular. Business is one-on-one. Like, if you go just listen to business advice on podcast, if you listen to it on Instagram, you're gonna get general information, and general information is good, right? To know what is good is really great. But it's like the details of our businesses, that's when things really change.
Yeah.
Okay, we have a question?
I got a question. Okay. Is it Giuseppina?
It's Peanut.
Pina. Okay, Pina asked, what do you think is the wiser choice when first starting out and wanting to make money, to boost self-confidence, to follow what you think you are the most interested in, or following the money? Example, like fabric versus SVGs.
Yeah.
Oh,
Good
that's a good
question.
one. That's
What
a
do you
good
guys
one.
think? I'm curious. Do you think is boosting confidence one of the things, and then following the money, or what was the third one?
Make money, boost self-confidence,
Well,
or, she said make money or follow money. So
Oh,
kind of
yeah,
the same thing.
well, I think nothing boosts your confidence by making money.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah, like,
I was gonna say that.
I'm making
But
money.
this
I'm like,
one
hey,
helps.
this is working.
Because money is like, okay, while money might be the end goal, at the end of the day, money really doesn't say anything except for that people that you don't know thought your design work was good enough that they would pay for it, even at 99 cents.
Yeah.
When you're making 20 cents, 99 cents, you're like, well, it's not that much money. But that's really not the thing.
It's not the point.
Mm-hmm.
The point is that some stranger thinks that what you design is great.
Yeah.
Worth willing to put in their stupid credit card for
Right.
20 cents or 99 cents to make that to me is like the testament of good design work, right? That someone's willing to, there's time involved, which is like a resource that we all don't pay enough attention to, that you go and put that in and then they bought it. To me, that says everything, and your confidence cannot help but be boosted when you start making money.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
I agree.
Okay, Steph Fur wants to know, when did you guys each start working for Carina after you finished the Design Suite program?
Oh.
Quite a bit afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite a bit.
Were you guys still even in the program?
I was.
You were?
Yeah, me and Shar came in at the same
About
time.
the same
About
time.
the same time.
So
A little
Asia
bit
was
later.
first.
Asia was first.
Lisa
then-
was very first.
Lisa was
Yeah.
very first, Asia was second, I was third, and I think you were fourth.
Yeah.
And you and I were like 2 weeks apart,
Yeah.
or a month apart,
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
I think were we in it like a couple years?
I did the
No.
full 12 years.
She was not that
I'm really good at what I do. No, I did the full 12 months.
Uh-huh.
And then I did that was a program at the beginning, which you kind of brought that back.
I brought it
Where
back.
there's
We
this-
went month to month.
Yeah, there was a subscription from after 12 months, we could go month to month, and I did that for I don't know,
8
maybe
months.
8-9 months.
Yeah. You were close to the 2-year mark. And the other qualifying factor for being a coach in my program was you had to make money. Like you had to actually know how to make money. Because I didn't want you guys having coaches who were like, oh, in theory, I know what Carina says, versus me being like, how is Tumblr going? How did Etsy screw you over? It's like you have to know things
Yeah.
to be a good coach in this program. Like you
Yeah.
actually have to like do the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so Megan Oliphant asked, how do you get over imposter syndrome?
Ooh, that's a good one.
You guys, I have my answer, my
Yeah.
telltale answer, but I'm curious what you guys have to say.
Your answer, I think, is a good one.
Mine is good. Or do any of you guys feel like imposters still?
I think at first I did struggle with that. Even though
Yeah.
I've been in the design field for so long. It was like, is my stuff really that good? Like, and I felt like, yeah, and I think no matter where you are in what step, there's always going to be those thoughts of that creeping in. I don't know. I think no matter where you're going to get, I think the biggest thing for me is realizing that it's okay to not know everything about this thing. It's okay that I'm in learning mode still. We're always going to be that way.
Always will be.
You know, you're never going to feel like, oh, I know it all now, you know, and you're going to be, and that's okay, that you can push aside those feelings that my stuff is good enough, I'm good enough to be in the space that I'm at right now, and then it's okay that I'm still learning, that it's not.
Well, I think that it took me a minute to figure this out, but you are what you do.
It's true.
And if you design, you're a designer. I mean, you may not be like the person who has been in this business for 50 years, but you're a designer if you design. You're a basketball player if you play basketball. You know, you're a salesperson if you're selling. Whatever you're doing, that's who you are. So you just step into that.
Yeah, because everybody starts somewhere. Nobody just all of a sudden was the top, you know, surface pattern designer of all time. They started somewhere by learning and growing and doing the steps and all the hard work to get there. It was never, you know, just an instantaneous thing. So we are all learning and growing and getting to become who we end up in the end. But we all had to start, you know, at ground zero. And there's nothing wrong with being there and working your way up to where it is. You start at, like Shara said, I'm designing, I am going in this field, that is who I am. I am the designer.
Yeah. Identity for sure. Okay, I am going to tell you guys this, and Megan probably didn't hear my whole spiel about identity because I don't know if I do it anymore in Design Bootcamp. So I'm going to give you guys the spiel right now. This is the story. When I started Design Suite, I had someone in the program who I adore, and she came to me, and I think we did it in a virtual conference, and she said, Carina, I don't feel like a designer. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. I was like, okay, well, let me ask you this. Do you feel like a sewer? She was like, yeah. And I was like, why? And she was like, well, I'm a Bernina ambassador, and I sew every day, and I quilt every day. And I was like, oh, okay, so you do it every day. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, do you feel like you're a mom? And she was like, well, yeah. And I was like, but why? You know, like, and she was like, well, and I knew this about her. She had 6 girls. She had lots of kids. She's like, well, I take them to dance practice, and, you know, I birth them, and they are in my house every day, and I have to feed them. And I was like, oh, interesting. I was like, do you design every day? And she was like, oh. And I was like, yeah. In order to feel like a designer, in order to be the thing that we think we're going to be, we have to do it every day. That's all there is to it. And this whole idea of imposter syndrome, I think it's something that we can deflect. And here's the other thing I'm going to tell you guys. Those of you in Design Suite, this is a resume builder. You can put on your resume that you have a Design Suite achievement and completion. Like, it's not a degree, it's not, but it shows that you have done something, right? Just like at the university, you can put that you got an MFA or you got a design certificates. And by the way, design certificates are becoming like a thing in the university world because they're so targeted into a career, which is why we're doing it versus a BA degree. Like, I think that you guys, like, sometimes we do have to go into a program to be like, hey, I proved my worth, right? Because sometimes we just need it for ourselves, right?
Yep.
That's it. That's not my spiel.
Okay, so 2 more quick questions. Janie's wondering where she can find your artwork. She said she can find.
You can find mine.
But the other 3, she's wondering where she'd like to see what you guys are doing. So maybe just share.
Well, my name is spelled kind of funky, so I'm going to spell it out for you. You can go on www.shara, SHARIA, Morton, MORTON, designs.com. And it's got all my stuff there. Go check it out.
You can find me. I also have a funny spelling of a name. So you can go to asiafillmore.com, which is AJAFILLMORE.com. So asiafillmore.com.
And mine isn't my name. It should be. Like, Karina was that, you know, and I've been
I maybe have taught you guys a few things about that.
and early on I was like, oh, anyway, but mine is Cedar Hill Design Studio on Etsy is where you can find my shop right now. I'm in the process of doing a website, but it's not fully up with all my
This whole website thing though reminded me, I know you guys all said art to cart was like the best thing ever to happen to you guys for Design Suite. But earlier when we talked, there was a second thing that Shara mentioned that really made a big difference. Do you want to talk about that?
Sure. The other life-changing or business-changing thing that I feel like I did was to do the Makers Conference. So as a Design Suite member, you get the opportunity to actually borrow Carina's audience, which is huge.
You know how many people do this? No one does this. There's a reason, because Sarah is checking the chat. Sarah and I have a lot of work to do this. Like, it is a lot of work to put on a summit that is literally just Design Suite members. We don't borrow from your audience at all. You just borrow from ours, which we have a relatively large audience.
Yes.
Julie, can you say your website one more time?
Oh,
I didn't catch it.
mine
More time.
Mine is Cedar Hill, like CEDAR Hill Studio. Cedar Hill Design Studio. Sorry, I don't even know my own thing.
She's like, I just make money on it.
I know.
I just added it to the chat.
Oh,
Thanks.
right.
Thank you, Vivica. Awesome.
Okay, and then one more quick thing. What's the best part about working for Carina?
Oh dear, I don't know if I want to hear this. The worst thing, I can tell you the worst thing is they get to see my stress all the time. Like, I'm not stressed out all the time, but like, there are certain things that stress me out, and I'm just like, I am the worst boss ever.
I have to say, I think it's this.
Yeah.
The working with these amazing women and working with you guys, I mean, it is honestly the best team in the world. Carina has a great work environment, and she's awesome. So it's a fun place to work.
I would definitely say that, and I would also say it's a privilege to get to see all the behind the scenes things, and you guys see a lot of it, a lot more than you think. But it's really fun to see what all goes into what Carina does, and I don't know, I learn something new every single day. I'm never bored. It's always a challenge, and it's so fun.
It's hard to be bored here.
Yeah, very hard to be bored. Yes.
If you were looking for a boring job, do not work for me.
You've got to be willing to like pivot all the time.
Yeah.
Like
Change fast.
Oh, we're doing that now. Okay, we're good. Let me get on board. I'm there.
Yeah. If you're one of those kind of people that doesn't like change,
Yeah,
it's not a good place.
good. But it is amazing. I think, and I echo everything. This is like the first job. I was just talking like
We were
last
talking
night.
about this,
We were
yeah.
just talking about this
Mhm.
about how that this is like the first job that after like a couple years of everything, I'm like, I'm ready to move on. You know, I'm ready to kind of like, yeah, that was great, and I learned, and you know, now it's this is like I just want to be forever, like you know, like you know. I think that's the thing, and seeing what you see with Carina is what you get. Really, honestly,
True.
it's like she's the. Anyway, she is she is so amazing, and she lives what she tells you guys to do. She lives it, and she practices what she preaches, and everything is for you guys. Everything.
True.
She gives her heart and soul and everything that she does, and I just feel so honored just to be a part of it and just to watch it. But you guys, like, you don't see all the stress and everything that she does in behind the scenes for all of you guys.
How much she cares about
She
you.
does. And she
tries
lives
so hard
for
to
you
be
guys
us.
to be successful.
Exactly.
And we do talk about you guys by name. That's the thing about our program that I never want to go away, is that we know you. You know, even if you haven't talked to me, surprise, surprise, we talk about you. Because I'm worried about you. I feel like you're all my children, and I'm just like, please win, please win. Just the way my own children, I'm trying to make them win. I really want you guys to win. Sarah, do you want to hop in here? Like, I can see Sarah.
No,
like,
well,
so
I just want to end with Andrea. Is it Trocine?
yeah.
She said, this is perfect. I'm so glad I took the chance on this new big and scary thing, and I'm so thankful I did. this is where I belong. And I just want to echo that, Andrea. This is exactly
Welcome.
where you belong. This is an amazing program. And
Andrea started today, you
Okay.
guys.
What?
Like, she started today.
Yes, Andrea.
We're so excited. I mean, so even like if you guys want to know how fast things changed, okay? Like 2 weeks ago, it was before our design boot camp. I was feeling really stressed about those of you on YouTube, and we don't usually share, and I'm not going to share the exact numbers, but I will just say like our program is expensive. And the reason it's expensive is because it is an individual thing. We care very individually, and we're taking care of individuals. I don't know very many programs where they see the person, the founder, often. Like you will see me in the coursework, you will see me in meetings. If things are not going well, you will see me. Like and you guys, I run 3 companies, and so like someone like me, I think I've been in masterminds. So like, Carina, you have to get out of that. Like you can't. I'm like, but this is the reason I do this. But this is how fast things will change. It's a high ticket program, and we cut it up into a semester system. And the reason we did was to make it more manageable financially for people. It didn't change the cost of the program, but it changed like, okay, like this is easier for people. And I literally was at a conference in Las Vegas, and I called a meeting at 7 a.m. in the morning at the conference. I had another CEO staying in my room with me, and she was just like, I mean, she laughed because she went to bed and I was sitting at my computer, and she woke up and I was sitting at my computer. Because I woke up at 5:30 in the morning, almost in a sweat. Like, I was like, this is what we have to do. Called a meeting, which of course I screwed up because I messed up the calendar on it, but everybody still came. They all came. And I was like, this is what we're gonna do, you guys. And I laid out an entire new program set. And this is a testament to your guys' coaches, is they were just kind of like, okay, let's do it, Carina. Like, whenever I'm like, let's do this crazy thing, they're like, okay, let's do it. And it's not just this team, you guys, we have an amazing Filipino team. Many of you know Crystal or have heard of Crystal. Crystal's like my right hand. She's been here since the beginning of the program. She is the one who sets up all of your guys' emails for Design Bootcamp. She is making sure all the customer service is being done great. I couldn't do this without everybody here willing to help me and willing to do the crazy things that I really want to do. And I really want to do crazy things, you guys. That's why we started a freaking university. So
She definitely keeps us on our toes. But it's an amazing journey.
Yes.
For
Yeah.
sure.
I have an idea, guys. Let's do master's degrees. And everyone's like, okay, how do we do that? And I'm like, I have no idea. But we're gonna figure it out.
Figure it out. We just follow her. We're just like her, like, all right.
Yeah. I just want you guys to know, not only do we have your best interest at heart, but we care deeply for you guys. We really do. We really want you to win.
Mhm.
And we're gonna do our best to do that. So thank you for joining. Thank you for being part of our program. We're gonna just keep doing our best.
Yeah.
Any other questions, Sarah? Awesome. I hope you guys like this. This is like such a fun special that we gotta do because we're not always together. But this week we get to see so many of you guys. Design Business Conference starting on Thursday. We'll see you Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Those of you in YouTube, if you want to be checking in every day, we're going to show you what's going on at the Design Business Conference, and then we will have full videos for you guys on YouTube, so you guys are going to see it. You guys might see yourselves on the YouTube channel. That's just youtube.com/Carina Gardner. And everybody have such a great day. We'll see you guys later. Bye guys. And then those of you guys on YouTube, I think we're going to close it out as well. I hope that you really enjoyed this. You guys just got to listen in to us talking to Design Suite Mastermind, which, I mean, it just so happened 11:30 was happening during this meeting. So, so anything we want to tell the YouTube viewers, I'm going to pull you guys closer. You guys can.
Does it stop recording too?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
It should be
I
good.
did, okay.
You should be good. Anything we want to tell the YouTubers? People on YouTube Live?
If you're thinking about joining Design Suite, I highly recommend it.
Just jump in.
It's fun. Well, the only way to get in right now is a Design Bootcamp. We may change that in the future just because of the way we're doing things, but Design Bootcamp is really the way to go, which is designsuitecourses.com/designbootcamp. The reason we did that, you guys, and most people don't realize this, is because like we have to give a certain amount of foundational teaching.
That's true.
Right? So we teach our design process model so that how we can understand profitability. We give you 5 strategies for success. We give you a signature framework. And that framework, I just showed the last boot camp, literally how that shows up in the business class. So the business foundations class that goes at the University of Arts and Design and in Design Suite literally follows what I teach in Design Bootcamp. Every now and then we'll get someone who comes to Design Bootcamp, they're like, I didn't learn anything. And I'm always like, I don't know what I could teach you if you don't even want to learn foundational principles for profitability and understanding how business works. And so what I'm telling you is that for $27, we really teach you. Like it's like a intro class. It's very quick. It's very simple. We like it because you get to know me. You also sometimes will see our team and stuff. And I think that's important because if you want to come work with us or you want to come to the university, that you know the people who are going to teach you. I actually think that's a really important thing, which is why I teach that class. So anyway, I hope that this was fun for you. You got to see some fun things for us talking to our Design Suite members. And I hope you guys have a great day. I think you'll see us all tomorrow too. So if you want to tune in, that'll be awesome. All right, see you guys. Bye.
Bye.
I think Sarah's going to close us out here. Woo!